What's up, everyone? Andrew the Latched Outdoorsman here. So a new video we're going to try is going to actually be a project. So I got the old Bumblebee. It's been out of the water since September of last year, and I plan on doing a big major retrofit to it, adding new wiring system, fuse box, battery cutoff, and it's kind of evolved. That's what it started out as, a basic rewiring job. Streamline it, make it better than what it was, because originally the wire system was just it's not necessarily a bad job, it's just that all the individual wires was wired separately to the battery. No inline fuses, no nothing except for like a few things. And it worked for 5-6 years, and kept on having some minor electrical issues. So I just decided to say, screw it, let's get a whole new wiring system. And most of it came in yesterday. I'm still waiting on the 16 gauge spool that should arrive today. But in the meantime, I'm going to clean out the boat, remove the console. I've already removed the seat. I've already pre-wired a few things. I've already rewired the nav lights and the spotlight to where they have spade connectors on them, where all I have to do is just connect the new wire up to them. Most of the figuring and all that stuff I'm gonna try and do this evening, maybe tomorrow, but mostly what I'm gonna do today is just keep on sweeping out the leaves and acorns, and little shop vac job, and make sure that everything is good for wiring job, possibly this evening or tomorrow, depending on how my schedule looks. So it's gonna be it's not gonna be like a one-day project. I just don't have the free time available to do it. So we're gonna do it probably in days, and I'll probably cut this video all into one segment, or I'll do individual videos. I really don't know. It just depends on kind of what pans out. So, but she's an old 76 Bumblebee. They don't make them no more. Got a 55 Evinrude on it. I did a video about it years ago. It was my grandfather's, and the transom actually fell off of it, I think back in the early 90s, before I was born. I was born in 90, so I think it was last registered at 1990, so it happened either in the late 80s or early 90. But his neighbor, I was looking for a boat, and my papaw, I guess, talked to his neighbor. Put a new transom on there, aluminum, and I guess he did the wiring job. And it worked great for 5-6 years. It was more like a band-aid fix. The wiring job especially was more of a band-aid fix. And so what I'm doing now is I'm just going to rewire it to a more permanent thing, put a little 6-panel fuse box on there, put a 4-switch rocker on this console for nav, spotlight, and trying to think what else, internal lights, and I'm going to add a bilge pump to it. I got to go to Walmart and buy a little bilge pump kit for it, and I'm going to add that too, because that's the only thing this thing really kind of does need. But anyway, that's all I'm going to do to it, and right now we're going to finish cleaning it up. I'm going to remove this center console, not the center console, but I'm going to remove this console from the flooring, so I have some more room to work with, because final project is I'm going to rip up all the carpet and put some EVA foam down, some hydro foam. So hopefully we can have this thing back on the water by the end of summer, and I'll probably put it in the garage, and then hopefully we'll figure out what we're going to do with it, like as a purpose, like its role as a boat, because I'm still going to keep it for sentimental purposes. Because I've been using the G3 that I bought off Zach, and that's more like a general all-purpose boat, and it's aluminum, so I can really just kind of do whatever I want to with it, hunt, fish, whatever. But this boat, it's a little bit smaller in terms of width. It's a little bit shorter. I think it's like 16 foot. It's not super big. So we're going to try to just find a purpose for it, which I kind of brainstorming a purpose for it right now. And we'll probably reveal that in a later video. Or later on in this video, depending on if it's going to be a full video or not. I'm debating on detaching the steering cable so I can truly remove this thing. but I've never done that before. And not a lot of people have videos on that shit, so I'm assuming I'll do a little bit of research before I do it, because I've never done this kind of stuff before. I'm assuming it has something to do with this and something underneath this. But like what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a switch panel right here where the existing switches are. I may actually cut into this and make it a little bit taller so I can easily access better stuff. And yeah, I'm just trying to think right now. So bought this flexible conduit at the hardware store. We're going to use this for wire management for most of it, and it's I think it's 3/4. That should fit most of the wires that's coming from the front and from the back. And they're going to meet right here at this the throttle assembly. So we're going to use a lot of this 16 gauge marine grade wire that's already got the black and the red positive and negatives already built in, and we're going to try and use that for almost everything. That way we can keep it pretty neat and tidy. So we'll funnel this in and see how it looks. So there's a gap right there. I'm going to funnel all this stuff through, and it's just going to go in this top compartment right here. Pull most of it through, and it's all right here in the center compartment. And then I can just pull it back through as needed. But I don't know if you can see it right there, but that's all the nav lights and stuff. I got the quick connects done on them, and I got some little wiring things that I kind of made to help me with the nav lights where they're separate. But I'll show you that here in a little bit. My little contraption. This might not be electrically safe, but I never said I was professional. The mentality for these nav lights are there's two separate nav lights. So I'm going to connect both positives on the nav lights and connect it into a unison right here, and then that'll connect with the main line. And I did the same thing for the ground. So hopefully it worked on the G3 when I did the G3 a couple weeks ago, so or about a month ago. So it should work the same way. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't. So I've done the little connections that I was telling you about, and I've already connected it to the main line. It's gone through the conduit right there and back out over here. So front nav lights are wired. I'm getting ready to do the front spotlight. And these are the only reason why I'm doing these first is because they're going to be the biggest pain in the ass for me to get in there, because it's at a weird angle. I'm not a very small feller, and it's just really hard to reach back there. So I'm trying to get these done first, so the rest of it should be pretty straightforward and hopefully pretty easy. That's perfect, actually. It might be a little too low though. I'm turning light number 1 down. Alright. Looks factory. Close enough, right? If I can get these nav lights wired up through the front, that'll probably call it a day for me. All I got to do is connect. I used a yellow and green wire for all this. It's some extra wire I had left over from when I rewired some G3 stuff. Green is ground, yellow is positive. I did that kind of same connection thing that I did for the nav lights. Probably not electrician approved, but I like it better than those dang twisty bullshit things, and I don't care to splice them all together. I don't know, it's just I started doing it on the G3, it works, so that's what I do. Alright, so I'm going to try to funnel some main line through the conduit up to this front compartment and make the connections, and we should be right as rain then. I just got to figure out a way to kind of guide the wire, because it's across from the boat and it's still a storage compartment. So probably what I'll have to do is I'll probably have to figure out a way to kind of route it to this back wall right here. That way it keeps it out of the way and whatnot. It's either that or I'm gonna have to use a bunch of extra line and run it through the front. I don't want to do that. So there we go. But there's the wiring job. Not the best, but we got it all running to the conduit and we got it out of the way. So that's all that matters. Runs that conduit up to there. And then this evening I will probably run the rear wires through, and that'll include the rear nav light, the bilge pump, and the main power lines. That'll all go through the rear. Alright guys, so we're gonna wrap up this episode here. Got everything installed, everything's wired. I put my battery in there and just did a little quick connection with everything. The only thing I decided not to do is we're not installing a bilge pump, because I got these portable bilge pumps. I've kept that on the boat for years and it's worked. Just the way the boat drains, it doesn't drain to where a bilge pump is really needed. So I'm going to use that switch as a main power switch, and then use the cord for the bilge pump for my fish finder / depth gauge or whatever it is. But I got everything wired up. I got to put some terminals on the fish finder one, and that's it for the major rewiring job. Next thing to do is cosmetic body stuff. I'm gonna put a PVC board down on top of the flooring, like a 3/8 inch, nothing major. I gotta go to Lowe's, buy that and cut it to shape. Then start re-putting the console back on, and yeah, and then I'm gonna put some hydrofoam flooring on, then put the console back on, and then put the seats back on, all that fun stuff. So anyway, catch y'all next time.